So I was thinking about something the other day that really kind of put things into perspective for me, and something that I've been considering a lot, especially on my journey of healing, has been that of letting go of attachment to things, to outcomes. I would say specifically outcomes here. Um, when you are raised in an environment of chaos and especially trust is broken, right? You learn dynamics of control to achieve a sense of safety. So, what goes on here, it's very interesting actually. Um, we learn control because trust is broken. So, therefore, not only do we learn control in different areas of our lives, we learn to control life itself, to feel safe, which leads to things like stress and anxiety and worry and fear and um, just in general attachment, right? And specifically anxious attachment, actually. Um, but the thing that's so interesting here is that when we are attached to outcome, right, we have a very limiting perspective, right? When we are attached to outcome, we kind of get a sort of like tunnel vision, right? Our our perception goes from expanded, right? Like wide and everything to then contracted, right? Like that. And the challenge here is very simple. When we go from an expanded view to a contracted view, we limit our capacity to see more detail, right? Think about it this way. If you are looking at a picture or a painting and you're looking at it through just like, like a tube or like a tunnel, right? You're only seeing one bit of the detail of the bigger picture or painting, right? Maybe you're seeing just the middle of it. Maybe you're seeing the bottom left corner. Maybe you're seeing the bottom right corner, the top right corner, the top left corner, right? That's all that you're seeing though, right? However, if you were to remove that, you would see that there are all these other ways, all these other options, right? When we are attached to outcome, we are limiting our capacity to see the bigger picture. We're limiting our capacity to see the finer details that we don't have to worry as much or at all as we think we do. We don't. And the reason I think that this is so interesting is because I found myself the other day, being attached to outcome and worrying so much about how something is going to unfold. And I thought about it and I was like, okay, so as a result of my attachment to outcome, I am thinking in this specific way. I'm so focused on the outcome that my focus is contracted, right? I can only see it this way. So as a result of that, my awareness is not over in this area or over in that area. It's just it's just it's limited to this or it's limited to that. I don't get to see the bigger picture. And when we live this way, we cut ourselves off from having an expanded view. We think that the way that we're going about something is the only way that there is. And so, therefore, we stop ourselves from seeing the bigger picture. And that's a problem because oftentimes, let's look at it this way. If you're attached to an outcome and you think that the only way of getting what it is that you're trying to get or achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve is by doing it all yourself. Here's another very interesting way of going about things because I've had experience with this, by the way. A lot of people out there feel that the only way to get something done or to achieve something or to create something, to manifest something, right, is to do it all by themselves. And they feel this way because probably trust was broken. Probably they felt like they had to be overly responsible and couldn't rely on other people. And therefore, their relationships starve, right? They don't learn how to cultivate and build meaningful relationships. But not only that, what they're trying to create or achieve, they're going after all by themselves, and they don't have to. They can ask this person or that person for help, right? What I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to display, what I'm trying to paint, what I'm trying to explore is that when you are very attached to outcome, you have a limiting perspective in regards to a limiting perception in regards to what could happen, what is possible, right? And so therefore you really cut yourself off from an expanded view, right? Maybe you're burning yourself out trying to make something happen, but meanwhile, because your view is so limited, you can't see over there, you can't see over there, and there's something over there or over there that's showing you, dude, you're trying too hard. And oftentimes, that's actually what's happening, is that the person is trying too hard. They're putting way too much effort, right? This also kind of goes into the law of reversed effort. I believe I first heard this from Alan Watts. An amazing philosopher. The law of reversed effort basically tells us that we're trying too hard. And the harder we try, the worse it gets. It's very interesting. So this is also why letting go of attachment to outcome is important, because oftentimes when we're so attached to the outcome, we're just stressing ourselves out. When we're stressing ourselves out, guess what we're doing? We're putting ourselves in survival. When we put ourselves in survival, guess what we're doing? We're cutting off our capacity. We're limiting our capacity to be creative. You can't create anything new when you're in survival, because when you're in survival, that's also a contracted view, right? And when you have a contracted view, what is necessary for creativity? Creativity is this experience of life, this inflow of new information, right? When we have a contracted view regarding anything, we are not allowing ourselves to be open to new information. When you see things in such a limiting view, right? When you see things like that, you are cutting yourself off from what's over there, what's over there, what's up there, what's down there, all of that. And this is oftentimes what happens when we're so attached to outcome and we don't allow ourselves to see the bigger picture or even the finer detail.